This is what it looks like to have $200,000 worth of in-game spending in a mobile game.
You will not believe how much this whale has spent in Genshin Impact.
This is the most pay-to-win game in Roblox.
Microtransaction spending is out of control. Let's see where it all started.
What game invented microtransactions? Alright, so out of sheer curiosity, who I have to blame for being forced to pay $15 just for a cool Moon Knight skin, I was wondering what video game company do we have to be mad at for introducing microtransactions to games, whether for skins or extra lives or whatever. Now, while microtransactions can technically be traced all the way back to arcade games where if you died, you had to pay more money to keep playing, the truth is that they really started exploding in popularity in the late 2000s. And it's mostly because of phone apps like Farmville, a Facebook farming game that was flooded with microtransactions, which eventually spread like a virus through all phone games. But what's widely considered as the first AAA console game that already cost $60 before microtransactions was Oblivion, which was notorious for selling a $2.99 horse armor. And while there was outrage when it first came out, everybody still bought it and showed companies that microtransactions make money, so in reality, we have no one to blame but ourselves.
Yeah, I hear that fact every so often. It was literally horse armor in Oblivion, which was a prequel to Skyrim, which started all this, and people literally lined up and they would pay $3 for it. So as much as gamers complained, everyone was spending on this stuff. And he made an interesting point how arcades kind of were the first microtransactions. I never really thought about it that way, because you don't necessarily own the game. I always just kind of saw that under the eyes of, oh, you're paying for playtime because you don't necessarily own the game. You're kind of like renting the machine one quarter at a time, but in a way that is a microtransaction. Now here's a good breakdown on why every game is flooded with microtransactions.
In World of Warcraft, a $15 microtransaction horse made more money than StarCraft 2. You're wondering why these companies do microtransactions? Because dipshits keep buying all of them.
And it's true. We look at games like Call of Duty or Fortnite, and we're like, dude, it's so crazy that somebody would pay $20 for a skin. Or some of these, I haven't pulled it up recently, but is there a way that I can pull up like the Call of Duty shop? I just want to see what they have, what they're charging. So this is Doomslayer. It's a skin, a blueprint for a gun, which if you don't play Call of Duty, basically it just means that this is like a version of this gun that you don't have to grind out to be able to craft. It just gives it to you. Then they give you a watch, a spray, a sticker, a player card, a charm for one of your guns, and then an emblem, and that's it. And this is $24. You just spent $24 on what is comparatively a very small undertaking. How much work do you think goes into this? The guns are already there, the attachments are already in the game, so it's just a unique loadout with a skin on the weapon, and then all of these things which are like basically an afterthought. And they charge $24 for this, and people buy it.
Yeah, that is nothing but facts, but it completely checks out, because back in the day, games, they would cost $60, versus if someone just buys 3 of these, he's paid for over a full game and then some. Game companies probably sat around, they're like, okay, we get $60 once, and then we make no more money. Why don't we just continually charge these people that sell skins, that sell the in-game items, and let's absolutely print money because gamers are buying them up? Like, to me, Madden was very much ruined with microtransactions. All they care about is selling me a stupid season pass or having their stupid pack opening ultimate team mode. It's like you got to go through all these ads and all these menus just to get to any sort of gameplay. And I'm sure it's happened in whichever genre you like. And here's how EA has made a ton from microtransactions.
Microtransactions are pure evil genius. We all know that microtransactions can be annoying, but did you know on average people will spend almost double a traditional game price on microtransactions over their playing career? They play on the psychology of missing out by making you think that you're somehow inferior to other players for not having items, or that the items may only be available for a limited time. Game studios have basically found a way to play human psychology to dramatically increase their earnings. So while all of us find the inclusion of microtransactions annoying, their bottom line doesn't care. As long as they're rolling around in money, they won't change the process.
Yeah, that is true. One aspect of it is that the other players spend money and then they flex on you. So at first you might not have wanted to purchase in-game items, but all your friends are tripped out and they got nice guns and they're making fun of you. You're going to be more likely to spend the money. And also I agree, I think it is a bit of an evil part that so many microtransactions are just gambling. Okay, they're loot boxes where you either open a card pack like in Madden and you want that dopamine rush of getting a really good pull. In other games, all of it spin around where you just get a random item and they basically turn it into a slot machine. So I don't think microtransactions are inherently evil, but some of those gambling elements are questionable, and if you are spending an excess amount of your money on it, that would probably fall under gluttony. And here's how games are designed to maximize getting your money.
Here's the dirty truth nobody likes to admit. When microtransactions are part of the business model, the game design becomes a weapon. Developers are no longer just thinking about balance, fun, or storytelling, and we can really see it in recent games coming out these days. They're thinking about how to frustrate you just enough to make you throw cash out of that wallet of yours. That's not game design. That's just behavioral psychology. Let's take progression systems, for example. In older games, grinding for gear or leveling up was part of the experience, and it felt good. It was a reward for your time and skill. Now, grind is just artificial. It's intentionally bloated and slow, because the slower it is, the more likely you're gonna pay to speed things up.
That is 100% facts for any campaign that has a pay-to-win element in it. They don't want you too frustrated where you're bored and you quit, but they just want to have enough of an incentive so that you give them your money. One of the worst examples I've seen, which is in every single Roblox horror game, is they will start you at a really slow speed and you can give them 50 freaking Robux so you have ×2 speed. So they literally make the game take twice as long unless you give them money. Like, it's so forced and it's so bad. It's the same thing for Madden Ultimate Team. Like, you can sweat the game, you can grind, you can spend all this time, or just give EA your money and you can get your 99 Justin Jefferson. So I can't lie, I buy microtransactions here and there, but I have not gone to this extreme.
You will not believe how much this whale has spent in Genshin Impact, and me and my friends couldn't either. This whale has just announced how much he has spent on this game. We're gonna react to it together. As you can see, this person has a bunch of weapons over here.
And his constellations aren't any better because he dang near has.
A lot of the 5 stars are at C6. I'm not gonna say everyone's at C6, but a lot of them are at C6. So let's see the amount that he has spent on this game. I'm kind of nervous, guys. I'm kind of nervous. How much has this guy spent on the game? Yo! Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, 32,000. Holy crazy. Technically 34,000. I use resin refreshes. Bruh. How did you spend $2,000 in resin refreshes?
Bruh. Look, I've never touched Genshin Impact, okay? I'm not playing a cringe game like that. I'd much rather play Roblox, a more serious game for alpha males. But like, how do we get to 34K? I'm gonna assume Genshin is a free-to-play game, but 34K, that is a nice car. You can get a brand new Toyota Corolla, possibly a new Camry right off the lot for that amount of money. And if you want a nice AAA game, it's 60 bucks. I don't get it. It's just an addiction. That's what it has to be. They're just like addicted to spending money in this game. They want the maximum everything. They gotta level it up. Or maybe they're like super rich. Oh, this guy is worth $10 million, so it's cool if he does it. But it's like, no, that's an unwise use of your money. I don't care if I'm a billionaire. I'm not dumping $34,000 into a game that's free. It is a free game. They don't need $34,000 from me. People can spend how they want. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to stop him if he wants to jump 34 grand into the game, but I'm going to look at that decision and say that is ridiculous, bro. If you thought 34K was bad, take a look at this.
This is what it looks like to have $200,000 worth of in-game spending in a mobile game flushed down the drain. About 3 years ago, Solimar was the strongest player in the pay-to-win war game, Rise of Kingdoms. In this city-building war game, you can spend real money to buy extra resources and speed-ups in order to train more troops. Those troops are used to fight against other players. In many situations, those troops are permanently lost. And after losing a very important battle, Solimar, the strongest player in Rise of Kingdoms, left his city unattended in enemy territory. It was during this time that hundreds of his enemies grouped together to rally his city, a task that normally would have been inconceivable for a player of his power. However, he hadn't bothered to set up an appropriate city defense. Over the course of the next couple hours, all of Solimar's troops were killed.
All right, so based upon what I'm hearing, this dude spent 200 grand on a mobile game base, and then he thought it was secure. He leaves it running, and I guess other players can come in and attack it. They destroy his base, and now his $200,000 of in-game items is gone. There's no words that need to be said. $200,000 in a mobile game. On your little phone, on your iPhone. There are plenty of free-to-play games, and even this game, you probably have plenty of fun without spending $200,000. I would just say this is right up there with a gambling addiction. Like, people spend thousands and thousands of dollars betting on sports and whatnot. So I assume this is just the gaming form of this, where they're spending thousands and thousands just to dunk on people in the game and win every single game. You know, this is their addiction, basically. And it appears microtransactions have caused the end of AAA games.
AAA games no longer exist. Look at all of these games. Can you guess what they all have in common? They're all trash. And they were all made by AAA companies like EA, Sony, and Ubisoft. So I think as the gaming community, we need to come together, slap each other in the face a few times, and then stop calling games made by huge corporations AAA. Where AAA used to mean quality, replayability, and just overall game enjoyment level, now it just means that more companies are spending more money on the microtransactions and marketing of the game as opposed to actually just making a good video game. And we're letting them get away with it. Well, stop, okay? No more Mr. Nice Consumer. I'm looking at you, Take-Two Interactive, especially you. freaks.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Like, outside of Nintendo games, are there any mainstream AAA games in which they charge $70 that aren't full of microtransactions? That's every single one. Like I said in my Madden game, if I boot up Madden, there's a pop-up. Oh, buy your stupid MUT packs, buy your season pass. Do you want to purchase the season pass this season? And it's like, bro, I just want to run a franchise mode. That's all I want to do. I paid literally $70 for this game, and I have ads shoved in my face every single time I freaking play. AAA is not the same. Before it meant, hey, you pay $60, but you have full ownership. You have access to all the items in the game. You have access to all the features. You own the full game. But now, if you spend $60, that's just like access to what should be a free-to-play game. You're literally paying an entry fee to a free-to-play game. Madden barely updates every single year, and I gotta pay $70 because I'm an NFL addict. I have to own the new Madden. Just get ads shoved in my face for their stupid modes. And I assume other games are like this. If I look at the Call of Duty shop, now I don't play Call of Duty, so maybe the single-player mode is good or the online updates enough for Call of Duty players feel like each game is worth $70. I doubt it. And they're just shoved full of microtransactions. So at least with like Fortnite or Roblox games, okay, it's a free-to-play game. But nothing frustrates me more than paying $70 for a game when it should literally just be free. Here's why some people pay to win in video games.
Why do people do pay to win? Either like spend, or you're gonna be playing this game like 8 times longer than the person who you're playing against. And I think that's one way that you see it. You typically see that more on mobile. But if competitive integrity isn't the goal of your game, like from a multiplayer standpoint, then it's way easier to do more pay to win stuff.
So when social status is a key component of the game, that's when pay to win is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, I would say
leaderboards.
Yes.
Like it's more progressive status.
Like if your rank meant something in League of Legends, which it does, if there was a way for you to buy the highest rank, that game would break. Like it would just simply would break.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I forgot about that. So many games have leaderboards and people want that status on the leaderboard. Every freaking Roblox game has the who spent the most Robux in the game. It's basically a who spent the most money leaderboard. I don't know if AAA or mainstream games have that, but it's so dope. But that's a lot of it. Like, people are really out here spending thousands of dollars to flex that they're #1 in a game that I and all of you have probably never even freaking heard of. And there really should be a big distinction between paying for cosmetics and paying to win, right? If you're paying for cosmetics, it's just kind of like, whatever, okay, you got more drip or you got a certain character you want. Who really cares about that? But it is so infuriating in a lot of games where you have to spend money to get a competitive advantage. It just makes an inherently unbalanced experience. And like I said, the example I know best is Madden. If someone pulls out their wallet and spends thousands of dollars, they got freaking 99 overall Patrick Mahomes. I'm stuck as a Viking with what, 90 overall Kyler Murray now. It's just not going to compete. And here's a discussion on these pay-to-win games.
People feel like they perceive a bigger sense of accomplishment the harder something is. Well, then why the hell do people pay to win in games?
I know that answer.
Well, yeah, let's hear it.
Because it's fun.
So when we talk about pay to win, what kind of game are we talking about?
We are talking about any game like, let's say, Honkai Star Rail just came out recently. The three of us have played it. You spend money and there's a chance for you to get something that will be more powerful than what
a better unit that free-to-play players can't get.
So I think it's because it's the same reason why people cheat to get into med school, right? Because the reward that you get at the end when I beat something in a particular game or I down this boss, if I could pay to win to beat Millennia, I still get to walk around and say, hey, I beat Millennia.
Yeah, I've got the sword now.
Right? So now what started to happen is we place value on accomplishments within games. And if you suck too much to do them, you just pay to win.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always thought it was more competition based. Like in Madden Ultimate Team, the more money you spend, the better your team. Your running back's going to be faster. Your receiver's going to be able to moss more. Your quarterback's going to be more accurate. And then you can dunk on people and beat them. I always thought it was that. I guess in a lot of other collectible games, it's bragging rights. Like you just want to flex what you have ownership of. But for me, if I've ever spent money on a game, it is to dunk on other people. And I've never spent an obnoxious amount. There's certain Roblox games where it's like, oh, pay 50 Robux, which is essentially 50 cents to kill your friend. You know, I'll do that here and there. You know, I'll just troll and then they get mad at me and a voice call, and it's always funny. I don't feel like a pride or an accomplishment from it. It's just funny. Here's a parody Roblox game full of microtransactions.
This is the most pay-to-win game in Roblox.
All right, we're stuck in a cage, and what happens if we move? Oh, okay. 13 Robux to move. All right, fine. Let's go. Oh, we're free. Let's go. Okay, what can we do? Can we just jump? No, we gotta buy jump for 15 Robux. I'm done, dude. Finally, we can walk. Uh-oh, looks like you're stuck. Wait, let me say hi to this guy. Oh, we gotta buy chat? Fine. Hello. Bro, you can't say anything. He didn't buy it for Robux. But what happens if we rejoin the server? Okay, it's loading up. Wait, I can't walk anymore. Oh, you gotta buy it again? Really? I'm done, bro. Bye.
I know that's a troll game, but that is not too far off a lot of other Roblox games. Oh, if you want any sort of speed, you gotta pay money. If you want a decent vehicle, you gotta pay money. I mean, that's their whole cycle. It's free to play games, man. And that was how microtransactions have taken over games. Please comment down your thoughts below. Click here for another reaction. Now you have reached the end.